Um, First, I'll begin saying that I got saved last year in January 20th, something like that, 2010. Originally, I'm from Mexico. I came here when I was 15 and stuff, and I just came to church and stuff. Like, the first time I came, somebody talked to me, and they were like, "Okay, hey, there's something for you, man." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So they were offering me Jesus. I'm like, wow, never heard about that, never been to church before. I really didn't want to take it. I wanted to say no, and I was like, no. I felt bad that I didn't say no, because I had to say yes just because I was trying to be nice and stuff. But the guys kept pushing it. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. It really didn't mean anything. So I went on. People thought that I was saved just because I went to church. I dressed nice, talked nice, did all the things that a person that's saved would do. And it went a while like that. I just knew that I wasn't saved. So I felt really bad inside. Outside, yeah, I looked very happy and stuff, but inside it was just like, they're homeless, like the Bible describes as Pharisees, They look pretty on the outside, but inside they're rotten. So that was me. Then I got involved in all this stuff with relationships and other stuff. And I started drinking at some point. It was very, very bad. I was like, it went for about 4 weeks. And so I struggled with that a little bit. Not anymore. I used to. At that point, I was like, wow, this is bad. Because I was doing that every day pretty much for about 4 weeks. Even at school, I went to school and I was taking alcohol to school. And that was very bad. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I still went to church at that point. I was going to church. I think I went out drunk one time. And I was like, wow. I never thought that I would do that, But anyways, I went to church. I heard, preaching and teaching and all this stuff, that happens at church. And I got convicted. I was like, you can't do this. I just came out of this relationship and it was really bad. I was drinking, hanging out with friends that aren't even friends, And I was like, you know what, I can't do this. I need help. I need help, and I need it now. So one morning I went to work with this guy from church. He invited me, "Hey man, you want to go to work?" I'm like, "Sure, I like to work." So I went. So we were working and stuff. Like it was like 10 a.m. in the morning. So I kind of stopped working and I looked at him. I'm like, "Hey man, do you have your Bible with you?" He's like, "No, brother, why?" And he called me brother because he thought that I was saved, like I said before, just because I was still going to church and all that stuff. And I was like, at that moment I was just trembling. I was like, "Can you show me how to get saved?" And at that moment I was like, I've really broken down. Like, I've never been so convicted. So at that point, he just pulled out his Bible and he showed me a few verses. And I knew all this stuff. I knew how to get saved. I knew the verses. If you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart, I knew all this stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I know it, but I just didn't believe it. I didn't take it in and get a good hold of it and live it out. So I got down on my knees and he got down on his knees as well. And I just cried out to Jesus. I'm like, "You do this, I'm a sinner. I'm just lost. I need your help and, come save me now." So I just got on my knees for about 20 minutes just crying out, I'm a sinner, help me. And I was like, wow, that felt good, And it wasn't just like just goosebumps and all this stuff and the chills. It wasn't just that. It was a real change that I saw in my life. After that, I went to church and I was more interested in the Bible, more interested in more friendly. I went out on Saturday mornings and talking to people, just knocking on doors, and that was really bold because nobody does it. Well, some people do it, but These are Jehovah's Witnesses. But for me, I was doing it before. I was like, I'm never doing that. You know, it's just it's really it takes a lot of courage. So I was doing that after I got saved, and I was like, wow, you know, it felt really good, and I started just seeing the change in me, and I started, you know, getting new friends. And like I said, that was last year, January. I started going to CP. Just like a couple months after I got saved, I went to reach out, and at that point, it was like I used to call, like crazy. You know, it was like, wow, God is awesome. You know, just I see all these people in my life that, you know, He brought in, and they're making a real difference to me. And I was like, you know, I like this, you know. So I started meeting people and stuff, and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm not the only one, you know, because the church that I go to is really nice. I really love it. But people my own age, it's just like I feel more connected. And I was like, you know, I can just see the change. And then, you know, a lot of things started happening, good things. And it's definitely been a blessing. But like I said, you know, it's coming from my past relationships and alcohol abuse and all this stuff, and becoming a new person. It was really great, and I loved it, you know. Deep really made a big difference in my life. Hanging out with you guys, and not just hanging out, just having that fellowship, and you know, growing time, that made a big difference. You know, like, yeah, the greatest one was when I got saved, but, you know, this was for nurturing and helping and supporting. So that really helped me out. And with that, I want to go to Monday nights. Been going there for a while now. I remember the first time I went, I was like riding a scooter and stuff, a red scooter and a big helmet. So some people probably, you know, remember that, but that was my like just, you know, driving around and stuff. This back roads back in Waxhaw, there was like bugs. But also when I go, you know, I just wanted to get there and just, you know, see you guys, and I was like, wow. So like the first time I went, they already finished the book. Can't remember the name of the book because I only went there once that time that they finished the book. But then we went over a book of financial help, you know, and how to use our money properly for the kingdom, and that was really good. And recently we just finished The Dirty Dozens, which is a really good book, and I would recommend that. So with that, Monday nights and how has that impacted my life? I think that was definitely good, you know, to have accountability people. Like, you know, I can mention names, but, you know, I'm probably not going to get them all, but definitely it was amazing to go over some of the topics, like prayer, for instance. I had the privilege to teach on prayer. And for me, that was like, wow, you know, I've prayed before, but seeing it from a different perspective, that was different because I was able to apply what I read and what I studied in my life. And that just helped me out a lot more. So I would just like to encourage, you know, for some of you guys that are not coming to Monday nights, just to come one day, you know. So definitely it's going to be a great help to you, and you know, in the future, it's going to be a blessing. Because for me, it's been a real blessing to get to know some of the people here, like Alex, Blake, Jeff, and like I said, I'm probably going to miss some of you, but you know who you are. But I just want to say, you know, thank you to all of you for being there in my life and for supporting me and just helping me out to grow and to just go deeper, you know. And with that, I just want to say thank you guys. So,